So guys, welcome back to Remove Before Race. I'm your host Raz, and even more important than the unveil of the new C63 SE Performance is today when we get our first taste of what this thing is going to drive like. We know what it is, okay? It's a four-cylinder, the most powerful four-cylinder in the world, in fact, in terms of a combustion engine paired with a P3 hybrid system, supporting that with the AMG Performance battery and the EDU electric motor in the rear, and that altogether gives you 680 brake horsepower and 1,020 Newton meters. None of that means anything, just like none of the figures of the AMG ONE meant anything. Now, sound we're all worried about, but the other areas that concern me that I'm hoping today will shed some light on are the extra weight added to the car of about 400 kg. What's that going to do to steering? What's that going to do to handling? Is the traction going to be any good, considering the GT63 SE Performance that we tried wasn't that great off the line? Lots of questions. Let's hope we find lots of answers. And today we're going to get to drive this car. And when we do that, we're going to actually understand, have they made something magical? Have they made something that is worthy of the name C63? Now, we can't drive this because this is a car for static filming, but what we can do is drive this one. I'm going to be sitting as a passenger, and we have a very special guest here today with us as well. He has got huge shoes to fill, okay? Because his predecessor was an absolute legend, right, Rene?
Hi, yes, he was.
Let's talk about your predecessor for a second.
Yeah, so you're talking about Marcus, right?
Marcus.
Yeah, it's cool that you mention him in your video.
He's a real legend. I mean, when he came over from Porsche, he changed AMG for the better, and that the effects of that still felt today, right?
Exactly. We can feel his way of driving cars, or his way to develop cars.
Correct.
In every second we are working.
So, I mean, what we're going to drive today is going to show all of that. Rene is head of AMG Vehicle Dynamics at AMG, and from everything I've heard from everyone in the company, he is the man when it comes to this stuff. So we're going to get some amazing insights on this car. Let's jump in and let's see what the new C63 SE Performance is like.
Yeah, let's go.
So guys, here we are inside the new C63, equal measures of excitement and fear. But we have Rene. We've had a great chat so far already, haven't we?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Lots of excitement. So show us what this car can do. But instead of starting a C63 like we normally would, like with Emotion Style or something, we're going to have it totally different because this is a totally different car. We are going to start in EV mode, which is super weird to say, right, in the C-Class.
Ready?
Over to you. That's cool.
So welcome.
It's just like the EVs, just like the EQE53.
Yeah, kind of similar, right?
But it's weird though in a C63, you know? But cool as well, because you can like leave your house. No one will realise that you're leaving to get a coffee, which is my problem at home. I always get caught, right? Because I'm either jumping in the GT Black or the C63, and it's obvious that I'm gone, and I get a call from the wife. Can you get some milk as well? And some eggs? Can I just get my coffee and be allowed to live? I'm going to get in real trouble, aren't I? Yep. I should not have said any of that. This is not a good start. This is cool.
Yeah, this is a new game, right? So we are leaving in full electric mode. Okay, welcome to Immendingen. I think you know that place, right?
I love this place.
Okay.
So guys, last time I was here, I totally forgot. I was driving a CLK DTM. How bad is it that I forgot? That's just awful.
That's horrible.
It's
really horrible.
bad. I should leave the car and just give up now. It was amazing. It was in this wonderful kind of burgundy red colour.
I would love to go for a CLK DTM.
It was great. And I think we were following Mr. DTM himself.
Oh, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
In front of us in a, what was he, in the GTR, I think. And then I drove the SLS Black Series, a yellow, solar beam yellow one.
Yeah, really cool.
It was amazing. It was a great place. I'll never ever share that on the channel because I never made a proper video out of it. So sorry guys, that's the most that you're ever going to see of that. So you guys have some exceedingly normal looking roads as well.
Yeah,
but then you have test tracks and you have different types of terrain and pretty much everything here, right?
We have pretty much everything. That's absolutely for sure.
Yes. So your EV mode is pretty much all the time all-wheel drive?
Yes, we are also all-wheel driven in the EV mode, yeah.
Okay.
Where we are in absolute silence inside, and we are just rolling down a road.
Totally silent, nice and quiet. It looks and it feels like a C63, but everything's quiet. And I can see a battery icon there, which is, wow. Yep, that's very nicely, very rigid. Not a lot of body roll.
Exactly, and we're just using 90 to 100 degrees of steering wheel angle to just get the car up the hill. So you never have to lift up your hands off the steering. So ready for the race mode to
ready.
give you the complete character change now.
Please do it.
Let me switch to manual.
It's suddenly come alive. Oh, hello. It's woken up. Jesus.
Sie fahren zu schnell.
Tell you what, it's not handling like I thought it was going to. Right, sound pretty good.
Push it out, yeah. Have an eye on the traction right now.
I'm looking. Grip is immense. Christ.
700 horsepower is just pushing you straight out of the corner. And you know what the older gen cars feel like when you're doing this. So we're just flooring it out of the corner, right?
Well, my C63S would be like all over the place. But you've still got the grip, clearly.
Yeah,
and it's not as, I'm not seeing as much kind of body roll or understeer as I thought I would.
No.
Because what the old car was 1730 kg and this is 2111. So you've had to deal with, as a head of dynamics, an addition of like, I don't know, almost 400 kg, right?
Yeah.
How have you've almost hidden it, it feels.
So we definitely need to resync development in that car. We have to talk with the electronic differential in the rear. The all-wheel drive has to talk again in that game. The rear wheel steering, all those things coming together. And one very important thing with that is the ESP.
Yes. Which
is also working in terms of traction, right? So and the guys in our ESP development were so much challenging the status quo, right?
Yeah. So loads of work went into the ESP and how
for sure,
how that is handling the power, I guess, and the traction.
So because we have the responsibility to give our customers 700 horsepower nearly, but as safe as possible, right?
Correct.
And this is why we also call it the game changer, right?
Yeah. So you have less weight on the front axle because you haven't got the V8 now, right?
Exactly, that helps. Yeah.
So and you've shifted more weight now to the rear.
Yeah.
And I guess as low down as you possibly could.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's also for a reason why the battery is where it is. Yeah.
Correct. So that's obviously helped you. And then you've added the additional struts that we've already spoken about.
Exactly.
So this is first generation of C63 ever to have rear wheel steering.
Yes.
Goes to a maximum of 2.5 degrees on the rear. As I saw in C43, it really helped with like these type of roads where it kind of shortens the wheelbase a little. And it just feels a bit more on rails like the GTR used to as well, which is nice.
So if you're up to, we can now switch to the handling track.
Yes.
And then, if you're happy, we can do some race start.
Oh yes, please.
So then, let's try to do that.
Jeez, that was quick. And there was like a multitude of sounds as well.
Yes.
That's so cool.
This is really amazing what the car does in a race mode. Because have you felt any wheel slip?
No, nothing. Like not even 0.5%.
And that is what I meant.
The grip was like.
And that is what I meant. We had to get all the systems working together on that high level, right?
All the different systems and the work you've done on the ESP. Everything is contributed because putting 680 on the road is not easy, right?
Right.
what was interesting to me about the launch you did was as many times as I tried in the GT4 door, I would always get a little bit of slip.
Yeah.
Always get a little bit of slip, but here, zero. It reminded me of like the best EVs where, you know, you just get that massive boost and absolutely no slip. That's so cool.
Exactly, yeah.
Official figure is 3.4, but I bet you I'm going to beat that huge when I get my hands on this car.
Yeah,
It's
hopefully.
it's going to be faster. The steering, from what I can see, feels amazing.
Yeah. So
Like
you
really
don't have
pointy.
to. You not have to do too much, right?
Yeah, I can just tell from your inputs. Your inputs are very small, but what we're getting out of it is massive.
So then let's switch to comfort mode. Right.
But it doesn't feel any less sporty to me.
No.
Like I'm still aware that I'm in a C63.
It is a 63, right?
So that's nice.
So again, now we are putting the throttle.
And this is comfort.
And the car is just staying as neutral as possible. So right.
I'm damn impressed. Comfort mode, guys. Comfort.
So, but this is not what the comfort mode is all about. It's not for doing some sporty driving. It's just to have the maximum stability.
Yeah.
So if you can just floor it, you just got out of the corner without losing any traction. And it's also in terms of energy. So not waste any energy for getting wheel slip or something like that. So we can now hand over to the sport mode.
So normally in AMG, sport mode is a kind of redundant mode that people either use comfort or they use sport plus because it's not that different. Is it any different in this car?
There is, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's a big difference. Just a little bit. Wow.
So there's no deep slip in the wheels overall. And if you're up to, we can just now hand over to the race mode.
Oh yes. So, are you going to show us the drift mode as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Sorry, Jamie. But this is a C63. You jump in the back, you got to expect that you're going to drift, right?
Yeah. It's not too easy in the back. I hope it's okay.
Fine. Do it again.
One more.
One more.
There we go. Nice. So just like in the E63 or GT4 door, we've decoupled the front axle. All the power's going to the rear.
Exactly.
Well,
and
actually, how much power do you get in rear-wheel drive mode, in drift mode? The whole
power.
Wow.
So there's no limitation, and this is why drifting also in high speeds is quite easy to handle, right?
So having that much power going to the rear, how is it for you now, like doing this? Is it as easy as the old C63, or like do you have to be careful on the throttle? How
do you feel that I have
feel,
to
well,
be careful?
You know what you're doing. Someone
No,
like me would be. Can you see that mountain over there? I would have flown into that by now.
Come on, you also know how to handle cars,
a
right?
Little bit, right. Oh, and race gets your boost mode button as well, right?
Yeah, we will hand over to that later on.
I'm impatient. We've got much more rigid car, more playfulness in the rear, loads more power. I can feel the power just as a passenger. The difference between the modes is amazing.
It's really cool.
It's really cool. There's like a big gap between each one. Comfort mode just feels like a dynamic but comfortable sporty saloon.
Yeah,
Sport
exactly.
is like a level higher. Like, you know, you've jumped from a 43 to a 63, and then you go into the race mode and it's like, it's a whole different car.
What other mode have we developed? We have a boost button. I think you mentioned it already.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
You see it right down here on my satellite.
Does the boost button have levels, or is it?
You can activate it and deactivate it.
Okay.
So the full 150 kW or 204 horsepower are added on to the combustion engine. So as soon as I floor it, you get the maximum power.
Yes.
Yeah, let's maybe call it the hammer mode. When we talked about the hammer,
that would have been a cool name. Put him in charge of marketing as well. Hammer mode.
The hammer mode. You know it from Lewis, right?
Yeah.
Lewis, it's hammer time.
Oh, we love Lewis. We're all Lewis fans in this car.
That's
Careful
good.
in the comments.
Okay. And as soon as we activate the boost button right now, we dropped the electronic power in the boost mode from a 150 kW to a 50.
Okay.
Why did we do so? We are taking care of your energy management in the car, so you don't need 680 horsepower in every situation.
Correct. So like if you're going into a corner,
exactly,
then
so
you don't need it at that point, right? Or when you've hit a certain speed, you don't need the full horsepower.
As long as we are in the apex, we are not having the full throttle position. So we are just going quickly through a corner and then activate the boost mode. You got it. So
as you're coming out of the corner, that's when you want that hit of power.
Exactly, and you push the kickdown button to activate the full boost of a 150 kW or 204 horsepower.
So you don't need to press the button. All you do is use kickdown.
You just have to push the kickdown button. This is
you do feel the boost mode.
Yeah, you
feel
really
it like here. Yeah. It's like
so it's 100 kW. This is more than
huge.
Normal road cars have, right?
It's like an entire car added to the car. I'm impressed. This is handling so much better than I thought it would. The fight's still on, guys. You guys thought that it was all over and the M3 and the M4 had it. There's a monster coming up behind you and it's flipping fast. Well, this is undoubtedly a proper C63 in that regard. The power is immense that's coming out of this thing, especially the boost mode, or the hammer mode, that's all I'm going to call it now, in every video for the rest of this P3 hybrid system's life. It's incredible. It's like, you get the feeling you get from like, you know, that 1,000 horsepower EVs that you might jump into. It's quite intoxicating, actually. Sound of the car is obviously, this is a pre-production car, so it's nowhere near final. You guys have seen how that happens over time. Even the press cars are sometimes not final, so we're not going to judge that today. The stuff that I came into this video thinking it's going to be heavy, it's going to be roly-poly, you know, we're going to be feeling a lot of understeer, etc. So all of those things that I was expecting coming into this car have kind of been wiped away. Many thanks to this guy especially, because he's head of vehicle dynamics. So what you've done here, I need to shake your hand.
Yeah.
This is incredible. I mean, I didn't think, honestly, I did not think you could add that amount of weight to a C-Class and still have it handle this well. It's incredible. So guys, this has been the first drive of the new C63 e-Performance. It's not what you expect. You need to drive it. Like I said on the AMG ONE, don't go on facts and figures. Let's actually drive the thing and then see whether AMG can surprise us. If you've enjoyed this episode of RBR, as always, please do like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.